I just realized I did this video vertically again, and they only use shorts for. So I am going to start doing videos horizontally in the future. I apologize because my arrows and everything matched up on the video I did, but then when it transferred to YouTube, it all fell apart. I tried to do it again, and it, targeting, I've in the past tried to upload videos and there's no sound, or there's no, and I had, anyway, it's difficult for me to upload things. And I can tell you this, it took me 7 hours to upload that first 1 hour video. It only took me 30 seconds to download the 10-minute video with the stuff that I have that pulls it out of the house because of what I've learned. So I know what I'm talking about. I seriously do. I just keep getting reinfected at work, or I would already have my bald spot gone. So I'm just trying to get, just trying to live, but it's hard living in this world and being targeted. It's not easy, especially when you have Morgellons with it, which, like I said, they say that every targeted person has Morgellons to a degree, and that every person who has Morgellons is targeted to a degree. And everybody's program's different. Some people are not supposed to ever know about their program, and it's just messing with you. But they definitely are putting stuff in your environment if you're sick, especially if you feel like you get sicker when you go home. So throughout this course, I'm going to try and guide you through all of the things you can do to make it so that you can live at home and you can feel, your home will feel pretty good. And you'll notice when something's off, and you'll know what to do with it. I mean, you're still going to have some of it in there. Like I said, they try and send stuff in all the time. They're constantly moving things I set up, moving this, moving that. So I've tried to do more fixed things, but then it's the dumbest game ever. And I didn't ask to play, and they don't really care. Anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to start the original video now. I'm going to prelude with this so that you can understand from my last video how come nothing lined up, and that, yeah, I will do horizontal videos in the future because it doesn't transfer correctly. I'm learning. Love, light, and healing, and I hope you enjoy. So I have been studying this for a while, and I am a seer, and I had figured a lot of stuff out. But everything really came full circle when I started a job for the first time in a long time. I used to be a dental hygienist for 20 years, but I started a job because I was doing pretty well with everything. And come to find out, the job is actually, I promote things at like events and stuff. And the job is actually targeting me, and actually like the product they're selling is actually part of this whole plan, and showed me a lot. I can't divulge the company, so I can't say exactly what they sell and how I know this. But what I can say is that I've learned a lot from it, and that they are mixing energies of a lot of people who go to these shows, and using those energies, they're drawing them in and mixing them with different colors of nano, and then they're taking some of it and collecting it at the end, because the head honchos are always there at the end, just them, and everything pulls energy or makes me sick, and they'll set things up certainly, and I'll move it, and they'll reset it, and I'll move it, and they'll give me a look, and it's that I know that you're doing this, and and we know, and back and forth thing. I've been pretty resilient because I go to work putting on a coat of armor. I don't know that I could get a job that I wouldn't be targeted at, but I'm about to do a 15-day event, so it's going to be the longest that I've done in a row, and yeah, that's going to be the end of this job. But I'm going to quit, but I'll have learned a lot, and it's taught me a lot, and there is a lot going on, and there's a lot to the colors, and there is a lot to products. Don't buy products at home shows. I can just say that. Okay, I've brought some other samples home and stuff from other vendors, the home shows, things like that. It's all part of the plan. I'm telling you, it really is. I've been working them. It's not good. And like I said, I'm not stupid enough to divulge anything more than that, but I can say that. And that is how I've acquired the knowledge that I have further acquired. But I had figured out almost all of it, and I just had a few little pieces that solidified when I was there, but I didn't realize how integrated this was into everything. It's been going on a long time, and it's deeply integrated into everything. Seriously, everything. That's why every color matters, every shape matters, every symbol matters. They can change things so easily and so quickly to draw it into your home. It's not even funny. And they are doing it, and they're doing it full speed. I am very, very heavily targeted, I think, because I have been trying to figure out the cure for it, and because I always thought I would figure out a cure for it. Not that I can figure out a cure for it, but you know what I'm saying. That's what kept me going. I was going to help. I knew that was my calling. The universe came to me. I know I'm a seer. It's just, everything's just come to me as far as what I've learned and figured out. But then with this job, they started blatantly having me do breakdowns at the home show, and they knew that I knew things, and they knew I would try and figure out things and take pictures, and so I was being observed. And the job that I'm doing is, half of it at the shows is about targeting me. I mean, all the other vendors target me too, but the other half of it is about, selling what I'm selling. But we also do retail sometimes, booths at different places, and I don't do those anymore. That was 100% about targeting me and having me bring black from my house. They gave me a key that to the unit that the black goo falls all over itself to get to. I literally have videos of it piling up on this key with my phone. It's very strange. There's a lot of weird parts to it. Trash. They love to throw trash in front of your fence and stuff, to attract different colors to your house, that they're trying to get to your house. So, I mean, there's just so much to it. Anyway, I am going to share a video that I did, just with one example of one thing that I found that I was going to use on my head, because I'm trying to get the spot back. But I was examining it, and I'm going, okay, this would be a good one to try and teach with, because there's so many different colors and angles on it. You might want to rewind and look at it again to hear all the points, and maybe write it down, because it seriously does work that way. I've been able to use samples of our stuff that we use at the shows and test it all. Okay, they have the ways to pull all of it in, all of it out. They have ways to pull some in, some out. The shirts that we wear, pull out the black goo and put gray in, and then mix it with the other stuff that they have on the table that's got weird energies to it, makes my hands go numb and stuff. And the other people's energies who signed the forms and entered our free drawing. Anyway, it takes all those energies, and then it mixes it, and then it puts it back in me while I'm working. I come home. It's a very hard day. And I try to stay uninfected while I'm there. I move things. I don't care. If I notice something's bothering me and I know how to try and make it not, I move it. And they all give me looks, and then the people start walking by, standing there, and he's on his phone, and then it's just, it's taught me a lot, I'll tell you what, but it's very real. And so anyway, I'm I'm going to add the video that I took. It shows, I'm talking about like the colors and how you would know which color it was pulling, and what lines and different shapes mean that are on this device. I'll go further in depth in future, but it's been hard because I've been pretty heavily targeted since I started doing the videos, and I was already heavily targeted, but for the second time they took my ID and card that I had just gotten back right out of my purse. And when I say they took it, this time it was actually these gray energies, entities, whatever you want to call them, that they're making, because it's, it's an ethereal energy, so it can get together like a group complex and be bigger and do bigger things, just like, for instance, like people standing together to make a word so that you can see it from the sky, kind of a thing. Or they can be, tiny little nano size and move little things, but it's not just nano, it's a mixture of the black goo and the nano. So that's the targeting part. It uses it, but it goes in the keys, it goes in everything. I have the video showing it coming out of my keys. It's what is in us with the Morgellons too. I mean, it's going in us, in that it's one and the same, but there's lots of them, and they're ramping it up, and they're adding colors, and they're creating new stuff. And I know because I'm watching myself be tested on, like literally, like I don't know why I've put up with it for this long, because it's not like I have to go every day. I only probably work like, I don't know, 10 days a month. So it's not that bad, and I get paid pretty well, but I can't keep doing something that I know is contributing to what's going on. I've already learned what I need to learn from them, and at this point it's just 15 days that I need to be able to pay my bills, and I'm out. So anyway, yeah, so watch and hopefully learn. Love, light, and healing. So I realized that I did not tell you about exactly what the colors mean and which colors draw what. So I guess I could have used a board to write it on, but the red draws the black goo out of the ground. That is what it's attracted to. And the red is, so it's red nano. They're using a nano. They have different colors of nano that they use, different light spectrums. The red nano pulls the black goo out of the earth. So they'll send that to your house to pull the black goo out. So that's when you'll see like red things, like if they have red trash outside of your fence, things like that. If you start to notice a lot of red, they're trying to bring red to your house. They draw that black goo out, and then they collect the black goo. Now, when the red draws it out, it comes out, and it's kind of, it's like got a little nano in it, but mostly it's moving slowly. It's just the black goo that's been separated and extracted from the soil. And so it moves super slow, and it's really dark, and it just travels in the shadows. And they collect it. And they have different houses, different vehicles that are collecting it. And they usually have a red light. If you notice a red light in your neighborhood, that's the one collecting the black goo. Okay, now the blue has the nano, the basic nano. The blue attracts the nano. They'll use blue to bring the nano into your home to mix it with the black goo. Okay. The blue, because it's the white nano, okay, so it's black goo, and now it's white, natural white nano, just the white nano that comes from the sky, okay? The black goo is attracted to red because the center of the earth, core of the earth is red, right? Molten lava. The natural nano is attracted to the blue because it comes from the universe, blue sky. Okay, so nano that's down here, the natural nano, is naturally supposed to go to the universe, to the sky. So that white, well, the basic nano, because there's the white that they use that's evil white, Okay, so that's where it gets a little confusing. So because blue does draw the basic white light nano. And then that mixes with the black goo and makes gray. Now this gray is really sinister, or really evil looking right when it's formed. And it does the not good things for them. The stuff that happens to us, like going into our phones, computers, things like that. Like on my iPhone, on the lens, I'll see like black goo building up on the inside of the lens, and it'll get really, really thick, and there'll only be a little lens to look through. And that's the black goo that's like been separated because nano's been drawn out of my phone. So they can utilize that and just send some nano into the phone. It mixes with it, and then it makes the gray. Or if they send in the green nano, then it makes even more sinister grayish tones. There's browns. The brown seems to come from the green mostly. The gray goes with the orange usually, but there is a gray that also goes with the green. And then, so there's the colors that are basic, okay, the red and the blue, and they draw the basic black goo and nano. Then there is the mix of the black goo and nano, that's the gray, okay? And then the gray is then used to mix and drawn, mixed with green and orange to make even more evil, I would say, entities, and that are doing even worse things than was happening just a couple years ago when it was just the gray and the black and the white. They're ramping things up. There's all kinds of them. There's colors I'm sure they're using that I am unaware of at this point, because but these are the main colors they're using nationwide, and I know this is a national company I work for, and they are specific colors, just like Home Depot is orange and black. Okay, so I mean it's Lowe's blue and white. Okay, it's the blue and the white. So likewise, the blue can pull the original nano out of things that are mixed, and so it can. So they're trying to they sent blue to my house for the first 3 to 4 years, and now they're trying to pull the blue out. And I know this by the symbols and the things that I've learned, how they're trying to place the lines, what they put in front of their house. The people across the street will open their garage, and they have like a stage thing in front of it, and they'll just put out different color buckets, and they'll open it for a few hours in the morning, and that's what they're trying to draw from my house, because they want it to come into my house, accomplish what task they're trying to accomplish at that time, whether it's targeting me, getting the black goo, or a combination of both, or some kind of experimentation I'm not fully aware of, because there's a lot to it. I mean, down to like the key I was given at work that is like, I didn't even realize until the very end, when she needed it right away at the office, but she wasn't going to be back in town until the end of the week. And there's no reason to have it right away otherwise. I mean, it was, she had to return it to the mall that we had been at. Anyway, so I was like, why? I wonder why. And I use my phone. That's how I can tell things. You got to use your phone, because your phone can see the frequencies of these things, because the nano gives off the frequency that is visible to the phone. And yeah, you could just see all the dark black goo stuff just piling on top of each other to like get to it. And of course it's the black goo that's mixed with a little bit of nano, but it's not like the black. Okay, so now they're using the colors black and gray and white to collect the actual things themselves, but they do it a little differently than they do with like the nano colors, like the red, blue, orange, and green. They do it with like they'll just put a white trash bag that's full across the street, or like an huge empty white cage in the back of their vehicle, or a huge empty black cage. So that's collecting the evil black, which is not the black that is first extracted from the earth. You got to remember, black goo is Mother Nature's essence. It is what holds the earth together. My foundation's crumbling and the ground is sinking down in my crawl space. I literally fight for my home not to fall. We've already got temporary things holding it on one corner. They say the ground's sinking. I know exactly what's going on because my crawl space gets the vents kicked out. I'll take out the insulation, and then they'll put insulation back down there on the rocks. At one point, a friend of mine was grown pot with me and talked me into digging a 6x6 foot hole down there before I even knew I was targeted. And everything comes full circle, and you realize, oh my gosh, that was part of it too, and I spread out all the rocks. Anyway, there's a lot to it, and I hope that I'm explaining it well. I'm trying to share my knowledge. So enjoy the rest of the video. I thought before I fix this, I would show you guys how to utilize shapes and things to your advantage. So this is blue, the top of it's blue, and that's closest to your head. So it's going to pull blue from your head, especially because it's got the blue tongs here. Now the tongs are red and silver, and so that has red and silver both on closest to the head, so that it's going to pull the red and silver, which silver is the gray stuff. But on the ones that have red and then all silver down, those ones might actually send a little bit of gray back into your head. Now, coming down to this button, it's circular shaped. It goes from the circle up. So the base of this arch up. So it's going to pull the green that way. Now, likewise, this is raised, so it would pull it out of the device. Okay? Now, the one vertical line would mean go this way. Now, if the one vertical line was up here, it would mean go this way. Okay? One horizontal likewise means go that way too, because horizontal and vertical lines, one of them each means go there. Two means, when it's horizontal, means don't go that way, and two verticals would mean go that way, and three verticals would mean don't go that way, and three horizontals would mean go that way, and likewise, and on and on. So now you say, okay, well, the green's coming out of it into your thumb, right? Okay, because it's raised like that. So it's going to come up into your thumb, and then it's going to go that way. This green dot is going to draw the green into it, most likely. Not all of them do, but because this one is obviously trying to affect your thumb, then it probably will draw it into the device. Okay? Now, likewise, raised dots, the green's going to come out into your finger. Okay? Now, if it wasn't a depressed dot, it would go into the machine. Okay? Likewise, if it's a circle, then it's going to go in through it. And if it's a dot, it's going to go out through it. But then it matters if it's depressed or raised also. So there's a lot to it. Okay, and then down here, you've got the white, and the white's going like this. Okay, now it's going to be pulled from the bottom of the arch here up toward the end. So most likely this will put white in there. I say most likely because it also goes in. See how it's raised here? So it will pull white into the device, which would also send it into your head because it's in the electronical components. So then the blue here, down at the base, it's going to pull from the arch, so it's going to pull the blue this way, okay? But because it has squared sides, sometimes they pull this way. So this might actually pull the blue back towards you. So I have to record and look at things sometimes, but that's how they're making things nowadays, so that it's pulling out something, but it's also putting something in, unfortunately. So we have to be really careful about what we do. So what I would do with this is I could take sandpaper and sand these down. Then still going to draw it into the machine, but at least it's not going to come out into my thumb and still be sent that way. but I would have to be cautious about whether I'm having the green go in my head or not, because the green is actually pretty evil, and the blue is simpler, and so the white is a mixture. So there's entities. So there's the basic ones that are the red gets the black, and the blue pulls the regular nano, but blue separates the white that is combined. The combined white is pretty, it's not very nice. It loves to stitch, and it's the one that does the stitching and guiding of the stitching in things. So white, I've learned you don't really want the white. Now on the back you've got this black mix, okay? So you've got one vertical line, two vertical lines, okay, of the same length. So it's going to tell it to go this way, but the arch is this way, so it's going to tell it to go this way, but that way. So it's going to go like that, okay? Which means it'll probably pull the black out of your head and send it that way because they're collecting the black, okay? The other ones don't, well, the I doesn't, but the X's tell things, do not go. So the X is on this side, so, and it's not raised, so it would say, do not go into the device through the X. So it doesn't want the black to go into it, okay? So that's a little bit about, oh, and here you've got this, also this blue indented arch, which could change things a little bit. I don't know what that exactly could change about the blue, but the other things I do know. So there's a little lesson for you.